So before we go to the comparison video, I created a poll in my page in Facebook. Basically, it's between these two, the XM Classic and also the Sideshow Maquette one. So if you've already voted, I think you've already seen who won. Basically, the Sideshow won. But I was really wrong because I really thought that the XM one would catch up eventually and it would win, but unfortunately it didn't. I also really tried that to spread the poll as far as I can or as wide as I can. Unfortunately, I only got 294 votes. I hope it represents the people who really, or the collectors or everyone who really likes the Iron Man and really wants to compare between the two. So again, the Sideshow one. For me, I personally picked the Sideshow because I prefer the MCU Iron Man suits. But I was really expecting that XM Classic would win this round. I really didn't thought that there's still a lot of people preferring the muddy feet compared to floating hand. And I really thought that again, I really thought the XM would win. I prefer the MC the Sideshow is, I really like the how realistic the suits are in the MCU, and that's why I really picked the Sideshow one. And yeah, I hope this is somehow, let's say, gives a perspective on the current Iron Mans. I think each Iron Man or new statue of Iron Man keeps getting better and better every time, because I think previously I saw this old Sideshow one. It's really somehow basic, and then came another statue, the Mark 6, and then I think the Mark 42 and XM, and it's really keep getting better and better. So I really like that one. So I really hope we continue to receive this kind of beauty in our collection. So stay in the video, keep watching. I hope you enjoyed the statue comparison. So I'm back once again. This time I have another statue battle, or basically statue comparison. This time it's the XM Studios Iron Man Classic and the Sideshow's recent release, Iron Man Mark III Maquette. So before we start, let's go first to some details. So for the XM Studios Iron Man Classic, this is actually having a retail price of 990 SGD. If you are Prestige from XM, you get 891 for the Prestige price. It also has a edition size of 999, which is typical edition size from XM. While for the Maquette Iron Man Mark III, it's having a price of 700 USD, so almost the same price as for the Iron Man Classic from XM Studios. But this one has because this is an exclusive one which comes with an extra head, it actually has edition size of 500. So this one also is actually designed or sculpted by, I think, also with the legacy effects, the guys who really designed the Iron Man movies. So to go forward, first let's talk about quality. Both have issues when I received them. Basically, the Iron Man Classic has the issue with the wiring. So there was a damage. The wiring just somehow drop off when I opened the box, and I asked XM to replace it. They just stick it in, and that was it. I thought they were actually, they really they would exchange it, but they just, how would say, just glued it back. And another issue for me was that this part. So this Iron Man is actually has a concept or the design based on Age of Ultron comics #1. It's a variant cover wherein Ultron actually does this to Iron Man. So he was like holding Iron Man's head, and throwing off his mask. That was the variant cover for Age of Ultron issue number 1. I forgot what year was that. I think it might have been the same year when the Age of Ultron movie came out. But nonetheless, it was based, or pattern, or this design is based on that one. The issue for me regarding this part, wherein the holding of the Ultron, is that the hands are quite floating. So it actually pisses me off, because that is supposed to be the main event. If this is where, if this was a boxing, it would have been the main event, or this was the main idea of the entire concept or the entire design. And they actually, for me, they somehow they failed on the execution of that one. How I tried to fix it, right now I removed the fixtures, meaning I removed the paddings that I placed underneath the Ultron, this Ultron. And basically this padding somehow gives a lift of the Ultron, so that the hands will also at least, how would I say, touch the Ultron head. So it didn't touch, to be honest. Eventually, or somehow it still didn't touch. That was the bummer part, because no matter how much I tried to lift it up, that it's still somehow not wobbly. I really couldn't make it that it was really like touching, or like Iron Man was really holding the Ultron head. And then for me, that was a failure. In XM side, I think I'm not sure. It was just my theory before, that they did some changes, and somehow this caused the hands are not touching, so that was a bad part. But other than that, everything for me in this statue is actually really good. As you can see, there's a really nice details in how would say, in the Iron Man itself, and it's really good. For the Maquette Sideshow, the big issue for me was the muddy feet. I think if some of you saw my review about this one, so how I also tried to fix the issue, you can actually erase it. I even just saw recently in the forums or in the Stadia community that they use this scratch cleaner, I think for cars, and it also worked. Now I saw that there's some also very shiny, but for mine, I'm actually really contented of how I did it and how it's done. I mean, how it looks now. For me, that's fine. I really like it. It's perfect for me, because I always love the weathering effect. That's why I also like this one, because it has tons of weathering in it, tons of scratches. Some people also complain that there were some bad paint job on this one, and also basically this one. For me, they're fine. They're weathering, they're scratches. The more they have this, the more random it is, the more I like it, because they become more unique from one piece to the other, and it's not something like redundant, or basically like a graded one, like this has to be perfect. No, I want it to be random, unique pieces also, so that is fine for me if it's really weathered. So that is in terms of issues. So with regards to rating them individually, I think before I didn't have a rating for the Iron Man, but I rated them now with my current rating system. You can see it is basically, I think the Iron Man Maquette wins. I guess not that much, but I guess this guy wins, because I really preferred, I guess I really preferred an Iron Man that is more realistic. I haven't seen any comic version of the Iron Man that it has more details. So when I mean details, that there's really like wiring, rivets, some metal parts, not really just the red. Like if you look at the details in the Iron Man, there's some silver linings there. I do like that one. Some other details in here. I really like that part. And I guess I also prefer the darker red on this. I really do like it, and I also, I guess, like the design of the suit. You might see here, as you can see in the video, that the design of this one looks really amazing. It looks at this part has really nice detail, but if you look at the Iron Man more, the maquette, more deeply, you would see that there are some really nice contours, really nice edges in there. So that's why I have preferred having this one over this. I also like the light up feature for this one. I guess for this you only have this one, and you can turn it on. I'm not sure if it would really pick up, but this one you can actually connect into the power socket, and it has an adapter basically, and then you can just turn it on. You can also have the how would say the batteries. I don't normally prefer batteries. I prefer really the adapter. So again, with regards to ratings, I guess this is very clear that this wins. Due to the fact, I would say the base is good. I didn't have any problems moving. I can move this one just anywhere. That's a really good thing. I really like stages that are like that one. This one I can carry it, even though it's really heavy. The weight of this one is really good, but I'm always afraid that some parts will fall off. Like for example, the body, because the body and the feet are basically separated, and that would make you afraid that it would fall off. And also this Ultron, this is also a separate piece. You'll also be afraid that to move that around, because it might also fall off, especially if I place the paddings. So normally if I move this one, I always disassembled it, and it's a bit hassle, not really a hassle or difficult putting them in, but you have to put all the parts again, and it has like, let's say minimum 5 parts, I guess. So that's not tedious, but you have to be there. Compared to this one, you can move it easily. So that's a really good thing. That's why in terms of rating, as you already know, my rating is based on the whole package, not just the look of the stage shoe, how it's sculpted, how it's painted. Really the entire thing, your entire experience also of your stage shoe. So rating wise, basically this one. In terms of what you really want, I guess for me, how I would say is that it depends on the occasion. So these are two suits. It depends on what kind of occasion for me to use a suit. So for me, this Iron Man is more onto the comic side. So if you really like those classics wherein your Iron Man has this, his armor is more of like a really you know, this mechanic guys where they have this piece of metal, or like wielding shields. This is your kind of Iron Man. So this is the classic Iron Man where it has a touch of modern, I'd say a modern suit, wherein they still incorporate the entire classic look, but they made it more layered in terms of its plates, meaning it has a different place. That's why you can see all the details. It has different layers of the plates, so they modernized it, make it look it still has the classic concept, but they made it more modern, I would say. So if you are inclined to comics, this is the Iron Man for you. It's really good. I would say this is the best classic Iron Man out there. I think there was one Sideshow. This one I would prefer. It looks really good. It's weathered, and it's everything that you need in a classic Iron Man. It also has a story. In another kind of event, I would use a different kind of suit as well. So for this one, this is more of a, how would say, a classy Iron Man, or a different kind of, or a modern kind of Iron Man. I have to say that it's I think a classy word is wrong. I would say it's more of a, when not a millennial Iron Man, but reimagined kind of Iron Man, in the movies kind of Iron Man. You have this darker look or darker color. You have a more realistic, how would say, a more realistic suit, that it's really like a knight. I think that would be the correct comparison, like a knight. This would be the kind of Iron Man that you want, and it has the really good feel, because again, the guys who made this are the guys who made the effects of Iron Man movies, or even the, I'm not sure if all the Marvel movies, but I'm sure that the legacy effects are the one who really made this, and this one really looks good. For me also, I would prefer normally the movies, even the Transformers. I really like the Transformers, the Bayformer movies, wherein it's really realistic. I really like that one. Even the Hulkbuster, I think there was a classic one, Hulkbuster from Sideshow. I also do prefer that one, but nonetheless, classics that are made like this are also there at the top, and then it was really good. It's just that there are some issues for me that somehow made this piece, the concept fail or the execution failed. And for this one, as of the moment, for me, this is perfect. I really do love how I did the erasing thing. That one works for me. That one is okay. I really love that. I do like all parts of it. My only nitpick is the exclusive part where we're in this extra head, and some people complained that this was not a movie accurate, and because it was hollow in the movie, and this one has something in like it has some wires, and it shouldn't be like that one. Yeah, so this is Iron Man classic from XM Studios, and this is Iron Man Mark III Maquette from Sideshow Collectibles, and this is also the exclusive. So I hope you got some information in whether you want this or this one. There are a lot of Iron Mans out there. For me, I got this because I really wanted to have the classic, and I also got this because I also want a movie version. Normally, I don't want to have the same scale character in the same scale, so eventually I have to choose again whether to sell which one. So eventually that wouldn't happen because again I have a lot of statues coming. I need to really be picky these days also. So I hope you enjoy. I hope again you learned something. I hope you won't kill me for this comparison. It's just my opinion. And I hope that you can still get these pieces. I think there's still regular or collector's edition for this one. This one though, there's a lot selling online. You should ask guys from Singapore. There's a lot of them selling at the lower price for this. You should ask. Don't just buy anywhere. Just try to really contact the guys from Singapore. They can hook you up. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please do like and subscribe to my channel. And yeah, I hope you stay tuned for more videos.